Good afternoon. Happy Friday. I am so excited. I am here with Bennett Lane Winery. Well, I'm going to be here. I'm going to invite them to join momentarily when Stephanie and the team hops on. Oh, I see them. Let me invite them to join. Give me one moment. Hey guys, by the way, I'm about to invite Rob. Will you please comment and tell me what you have open? Hopefully it's Bennett Lane, but once again, you do not have to have Bennett Lane Winery wines open to be joining us. This is really just supposed to be educational, create some awareness, and just a fun way to get together. So yeah, let us know what you're drinking. Okay, Rob is coming on right now. Just double checking the calendar. Okay, we are waiting for Rob. Okay, and actually we have a date correction. The Zoom is Tuesday, June 9th. I thought the Friday sounded funny. I didn't actually have the calendar open. So Tuesday, June 9th, save the date, 5 p.m. Pacific, Bennett Lane Zoom with me and Stephanie and Rob, who is about to join us. He's the winemaker. Yes, White Maximus. It is so, so delicious. Do you have it in front of you right now? Are you drinking that? Enjoying every moment. What an adorable handle. What are some of your other favorite Bennett Lane wines? My tongue is tied today, huh? Oh, let me try again. We're having trouble connecting him. One moment. Okay. Oh, hello, Vino Argentina.
There we are.
There he is. Hello. I'm a little jealous. You're out in the sun in your hat, enjoying Napa Valley. How's it going?
Oh, we finally got it. Oh.
It's a little come and go.
Okay, I think it's better now.
Okay.
I think we were having problems with the connection.
So we can see your face.
It is come and go. I think we're going to need the iPad.
Are you on Wi-Fi?
Yeah, but it's...
This is the same
Well, now it's steady, but Rob, I can't see your face.
Okay, if it's steady. Okay, well then we'll lift this up.
There we go. Hello.
All right.
Walk closer to the building, maybe?
That's good. All right.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I just want you to know that I wore the shirt today, Emily, for you because it's the same color as your shirt or your dress.
Well, we coordinated, didn't we?
Of course, we did.
Yes, we did.
So,
are you wearing that belt that we both have too, or just the shirt?
Just the shirt today. But
remember when we were having lunch, we were like matching twins in our Hermes belts.
Well,
great minds think alike.
There you go. So you were asking about the Sauvignon Blanc.
Well, I was about the Maximus. It's so lovely and very drinkable.
Yeah, that's a really fun wine. And the trick to that wine is it's got about this vintage. It has about 10% barrel fermented Chardonnay in it, which takes the acidity of the Sauvignon Blanc and gives it some richness. Yeah. And so it softens the Sauvignon Blanc. And a lot of Sauvignon Blancs are just a little too tart.
They're like apple lime bombs.
Exactly. And so this softens them down, but the way we make Chardonnay, it really highlights the fruit. So it highlights that Fuji apple and that Comi's pear, and so that also comes along with it, which is nice. And then that Muscat just adds that. So it ends up being a delightful wine.
I'm really loving it. The only problem with Instagram is when someone calls you, it interrupts the feed. I'm like, excuse me, I'm a little busy. Well, good.
That's okay.
I mean, that went down. I have maybe one sip left.
Okay.
Taste it together, do a couple tasting notes, and then we can possibly move on to the rosé. I'm sure people are anxiously awaiting. It is 4 o'clock on a Friday, and it's like 80 degrees in Napa.
Okay. Well, move on to the rosé.
Okay, unless you want to talk through any tasting notes about the Maximus.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Whatever you want. You're the boss.
I just love the fruit in the nose, and the whole premise of the Bennett Lane series of wines is varietal fruit flavor, and so Sauvignon Blanc actually doesn't have to smell like vegetal things. It's not canned asparagus or green beans or bell pepper. My idea of Sauvignon Blanc, if you can get Sauvignon Blanc ripe, you can get white peaches or nectarines. Some people get ruby grapefruit. That's okay. But I like these brighter fruits.
Definitely.
And so
Feminine, like white jasmine, just so
exactly
delicate.
So it's fun to get these floral characters as well as these ripe fruits. But I don't want it to be tutti frutti. I don't want it to be something that's just kind of a box of I don't know, candies.
Yeah, no.
But I just love the aroma, and the fun thing is that you can continue to taste it or smell it. We've got a lot going on in the background here. They're trying to get this phone set up so that. Okay, hold on. Oh, there we go. All right, that's perfect. All right, great.
Nice. You've got a whole production team over there. I could do some.
Oh, I do. Stephanie and Travis are working away to do this right. So let's taste it.
I used to have a colleague. Okay, yeah. Great.
And you get that ripe fruit, but you also get richness, and there's still nice acidity to it. So it works. That's perfect, Travis.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely on its own, but I'm sure it would be lovely and really complement, a fish dinner.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Which that's a great idea too.
Yeah, I love the Oriental food idea, whether it's Thai or Japanese or even Chinese. It's perfect. And in Chinese food, if there's oil in it, this would cut right through it. It wouldn't overpower it in any ways. And yet when this wine is ice cold, it's dangerous. So
yeah.
By the pool, be careful.
If I told you I would call it a pool pounder, but I mean,
yes.
This is what I want to drink by the pool. It's just light. What is the alcohol like? Is it like 11 or 12%?
No, it's closer to 14.
Oh, even better. A pool.
But
I don't have to drink too much of it.
I will say something about alcohol. And a lot of people say, "Oh my God, it's 14. That's going to be hot," and blah blah blah. If a wine is well made, if it's in balance,
yeah,
you won't notice the alcohol.
Well,
I mean, it's not hot.
12, because your cabs are what, 12.8, 12.9? Higher? Oh, wow.
14, yeah.
I'm not good at alcohol levels. Oh, well.
But that's a good thing. But that's a good thing because a lot of people would read the label first and say, "Oh, this wine, no, I'm not even interested."
Yeah.
And my point is, taste the wine first. If the wine is in balance,
oh, yeah,
you won't notice that the alcohol is high. I mean, the key is balance.
It doesn't really matter to me. I don't like discriminate by. I mean, if I have a Zin and it's 19%, I'm like, no wonder I can't drink this.
Yes. Okay. That's something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Story. So. Yeah, that's beautiful. Well, good.
Thank you.
Well.
All right.
Time to pay some attention.
Now to something else that's near and dear to my heart, which is our rosé.
Oh, so beautiful. Let me show everybody. I love the black label with this like dark peachy pink color. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it works out really well. And this is a fun wine to make because I do not believe in making Saignée rosés, which is when people bleed off their reds to make a more intense red wine. Mm-hmm. And what do they do with that bleed off? They go, "Oh, let's make rosé." It's like, were you planning to make rosé? I think that if you're planning to make rosé, you should take grapes, you should press them, you should ferment it as a white wine, and keep your focus on making that wine. And that's exactly what we did with this. We had a grower come to us and say, "I've got some extra Petit Syrah. Yeah. I don't know what to do with it. The vineyard's going to come out in a couple of years. Would you be interested?" And I said, "Yeah, we'd be very interested." And we made this wine, and it was really fun for Bennett, who's my assistant, because he and I love these projects. And this was a great project, and it was a learning thing for him, and it was fun for me to teach him how to make rosé. And I've done it before and had equal success. And so the thing that's special about this wine, first of all, is the color. And the fact that you get a wine that has this almost salmon-like color, this light salmon color, is exciting. Now there are some rosés that are bright pink, and the only reason they're bright pink is that they've altered the color. They're not supposed to be that
Really?
rouge-ish. Oh yeah, there
Wine?
there are tricks. Yeah, you can add a concentrated color to it to make it that way. So I didn't know what our rosé should look like. So I went to the rosé section at the supermarket and was shocked at all the different colored rosés, and talked to Randy, our owner, and talked to Stephanie, and we all said, let's just stick with what we're trying to make here and not worry about the rest.
And
I was thrilled.
this color, like I know I shouldn't do this and I judge a rosé by its cover, but if a rosé is like too dark, I'm like, I'm not gonna like that. I know the style. And I typically like this light, like Provençal style. And I just had a conversation with a friend of mine who's an MW, and we like deduced the fact that I don't really think I like rosés of Pinot Noir very much.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir can do no harm, but like I prefer like this or, the Provençal one with like Rhônes. I don't know. It's just like,
Sure.
it's just a different style and preference.
Well, Pinot's a really tough varietal. I made Pinots for years for my father's winery in Sonoma, and we were trying not to make rosé. So, but anyways, I'm glad we're not making a Pinot Noir rosé.
Well, this one's lovely, so I think you chose.
Thank you. And then in the nose, it's first of all, I'm tasting in a windstorm, so this is going to be challenging. But I get this almost a very ripe purple plum that has yellow flesh.
Wow.
You know what I'm trying to describe?
Plum fruit, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely not as aromatic as the White Maximus.
No.
Like it's hard to go from that to this. Like I'm like, oh, it smells nice.
Yeah.
Like a bouquet of flowers.
But the interesting thing is when you taste this wine.
Mm-hmm. Great. And there's like a touch of acidity at the end, not too much, but it's definitely there.
It has a bit more body than the Sauvignon Blanc.
I like the punch.
Or the White Maximus.
I like the punch at the end when you're like swallowing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you get to swallow. I'm spitting.
Oh.
And it also has just a touch of tannin to it. Okay? And that's all right, because that works extremely well with food. So now we think about, well, what would I pair this with? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it works so well. It's an everyday wine, and yes, again, if ice cold, it's another pool pounder.
Yeah. So random question. I've never really talked about aging rosés. How do rosés age?
Not well. The color drops off. They turn orange. They get very astringent, meaning they're constrictive on the palate. So they're wines that you'd want to drink in the first 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Yeah. No, I don't
buy that.
I mean, it's also like, it's just one of those impulse wines. Like the moment you get it, you want to drink it because we're getting it in the spring or summer. There's always, we have a limited amount, buy it, we're going to sell out. Like I know that's the case for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you going to sit on it too long if, it's just one of those quick.
Yes. Unless you lose it in your wine rack and then find it and go, oh, look, what's this? And, Yeah.
I feel like a wine hoarder. I have my wine fridge, which is like right here.
Mm-hmm.
And 40 bottles, so they say. I've jammed it way more than that. And then I have like all these random cupboards. I keep like getting another piece of furniture and it becomes wine storage. So I probably have rosés. I should probably do a search and find some old rosés and drink them. Yeah.
No, I had quite a collection and actually sold that collection once, and that was about 25 cases.
Why did you?
And because I knew I wasn't going to drink it. and I was able to turn that over, and it's just about full again. And
so it's sort of fun. It's like a project and a hobby.
yeah, well, and I am the most favored uncle, and a very generous father. So my kids just love coming home and leaving with a case of wine.
Oh my God.
So,
Bob, Napa.
yeah,
I don't
why
even
not?
open a cool bottle and talk about it.
Pardon?
Yeah.
I'm sorry? Yeah.
Are you? I can't remember where you live.
I live in St. Helena.
Okay. I think we talked about to the high school there, right?
No, my daughter went to Justin down in Napa,
Oh.
and my stepson went down to Marin Catholic.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So from here, I think we need to move on to some red wine.
Okay, sounds wonderful. We have 2 Cabernets on the docket.
So both are 2016s, and 2016 was one heck of a vintage. So we will start with the Napa Valley.
Okay. I cheated. I had these with you a couple weeks ago when we did a little Zoom tasting. They're lovely.
They are really fun. And, you know, I took a sabbatical from Bennett Lane and worked on a different project for a couple of years. And then Stephanie said, we need you to come back. And so I did. And Bennett has joined me. And I've had more fun in the last 5 years working with these wines and working with Bennett. And I'm in a mentoring role, and I've never done that before.
Yeah.
It's not a consulting role. You know, when you consult, you tell people things that they should do, and they decide if they want, which is really frustrating. But in a mentoring role, you're teaching, and you're sharing your experience.
Yeah.
So, and Bennett is just a sponge. He's the greatest guy, and
I mean, you guys hired him because his name was Bennett for Bennett Lane Winery, but what a coincidence.
Well, they did. I mean, they hired him in the tasting room, and he was so good in the tasting room, we decided we needed him out in production.
That's
and
awesome.
So, I mean, this guy can multitask. And what Bennett taught me is the most important thing to do in a winery is to sell. I thought it was to make wine. But if you can't sell the wine, then the winery's doors close. So we have a great time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the neat thing is that we're on the same page in how we make the wines, and so it's really showing up in the wines that we're making. And I mean that even though wines can go into a bottle the way you hope that they're going to turn out, when you taste a wine in several years and go, oh my God, this is better than I ever could have hoped. Mm-hmm. That's what the key is. And I'm finding that again and again and again. And it's just and I keep telling him, we're doing it. Good. We're doing exactly what we want to do. And it's all about fruit, and it's all about varietal expression, and it's about not being heavy-handed with the oak, but hints of oak and things like that. So let's taste this Cabernet. So first of all, the color is, I mean, it's just so exceptional that you get such a deep, dark Cabernet.
Yeah.
There are a lot of Cabernets in the Napa Valley that are lighter in ruby color, and this one is, it's so dark.
Garnet, would you call it?
Yes, deep garnet.
Okay.
And then in the nose, there's just,
it tastes old, or it smells old. In a good way.
It does. It has that complex age to it. It smells mature. It smells evolved.
And like a little dusty, you know, and I don't want to floor, but definitely dusty and like, you know, like maybe that, I mean, I guess that's probably the oak. So what's the barrel on here?
We use only French oak. We use about 10 different coopers. The Napa Cab is about 25% new barrels.
Okay.
So, But behind all of that, you still get this resonance of ripe currants and blackberries, black cherries.
Raspberry. I'm cheating. I have your tasting notes open on the side. That's why I'm looking here.
Okay.
Well, it's always fun to reference and understand. I mean, I'm glad I have it because this is a 90-point Robert Parker wine, and this is also a 90-point Wine Spectator, so that's pretty great.
I'm very happy about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Neil, one of my regular viewers, thanks, Neil, is commenting on the blackberries. I know, aren't they delicious?
This
so we
wine,
have a 100% cab, 100% cab ou en melange or petit verdot. So what's the blend on this?
Interestingly enough, it's 95% cab,
Okay.
5% petit syrah.
Right. I remember this conversation. I know. I just notes and found that. Okay.
And the reason Petit Verdot, I love Petit Verdot, but you have to be very careful with it. The joke is Petit Verdot is either violets or violence.
Ooh, and then what?
So, and the violence is in the tannins. Okay. So you want it to be as ripe as possible so you get the violets. Mm-hmm. And then when you ferment it, you've got to press it early enough so that you don't get the violence. And if you get the violence, you don't use it as a blending tool. It will just decimate a blend.
Yeah, that sounds very scary. I don't like a grape that has the word violence attached to it.
Well, I mean, my descriptor for different varietals, I talk about Cabernet Franc as gingerbread, and I talk about Malbec as blueberries, and I talk about Merlot as goofy grape, and then violets and violence for Petit Verdot. So.
Well, Cab Franc, I really do love Cab Franc. I think it's this like undiscovered, Napa Valley, Bordeaux thing that if people don't know about it, they don't know. And then you have it, you're like, oh, how come I didn't have this before and enjoy it?
I'll tell you why. There is a lot of mediocre Cabernet Franc in the Napa Valley, just like there was a lot of mediocre Merlot in the Napa Valley. Now, mediocre Merlot, you can work with. Mediocre Cabernet Franc tastes like bell pepper.
I don't think I've had mediocre Cab Franc, luckily, or else I wouldn't like it. Because when I first had it, I just fell in love immediately with the one I had.
My daughter tasted a Cabernet Franc down on the Central Coast, and I don't remember the name of the winery, but she said it smelled like roasted red peppers. And I went, that actually sounds great. I said, and that's a great descriptor.
I'm really impressed that your daughter tasted it and remembered to tell you the tasting notes. That is a wonderful winemaker's daughter.
Yeah, and she's only 21, so I'm very impressed. So.
Are you hoping she'll join the winemaking?
She has no interest. She is a musician and a psychology major.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Maybe she can play music at a wine club party.
I'm hoping she will.
Yeah. Correct.
So, yeah, she's a good kid.
Lovely. I might actually do a bit of that because I want to go to the Reserve. I sort of want to pop back and forth.
Okay. All right.
Why not? Side by side. It's always fun. So someone is suggesting, oh, yes. Avid Wine says brings a little skillet and bacon to the palate. Don't you dare mention bacon. Now I want BLT.
There's no American oak.
No American oak. That's probably why it's that old smell I was getting is the French oak.
Could be.
Peut-être.
Peut-être. Un petit peu.
Possible. I gotta limit my French to 2 to 3 words, or else you're gonna not understand.
Moi aussi. we do great in France together.
Yeah.
All right. Now with the Reserve,
okay.
When you look at the color, this is even more black than the Napa Valley.
Here's the Reserve bottle, guys. So let us know if you have the Reserve or the Napa Valley. Who has these Cabernets open? Obviously, that Avid Wines does. He was talking about the great bacon tasting notes. Okay, I'm smelling the Reserve. You're saying it's even darker?
Yes.
Reserve. Yeah, I mean, they're very close, but if you say so.
But the thing with the Reserve to me is the fruit, the jammy fruit is much more intense in the nose.
Ooh, this has oh God, I love this. This has that grit. I always call it a grippy finish on the end. Like I can like almost taste. I mean, you don't have. Does Calistoga have like chalkiness in the soil, or is it like volcanic soil?
Calistoga does not have that chalky soil. I think of that chalkiness as an Oakville character, but
Oakville?
I use that chalky descriptor frequently.
Okay, good. So why am I tasting that? That is not a Calistoga. But do you have any like orangey volcanic soil?
There is that type of soil. The thing is, Randy's Vineyard and for the reserve, we're using some of the Lynch family vineyards in this.
Well, that's why.
But it's right up against the Palisades there by the Silverado Trail.
Okay.
And so that it's that type of soil.
So remember, it did the Lynch Cabernet, and because you know I always have to pick a favorite, and the Lynch was my favorite. So this makes a lot of sense. Sure, that there's. I'm a Lynch girl.
There you go. Well, that is the most expensive one. So
I can't help it. I like what my palate tells me.
Hey, that's good. But when you talk about chalky and people are like, I don't get it. What I try and say is, don't you remember? Some people aren't old enough to remember using chalkboards and having to clap erasers. But it's that chalk dust, and I think of that chalk dust on my palate.
It creates a lot of interest. Like I feel like that chalk dust makes me want to have a steak with this. You know, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a negative thing at all, and it's a very smooth character. It gets into that velvety mouthfeel as comparison.
Yeah, I mean they're both great. So is there a big price difference in the Napa Valley versus the Reserve?
The Napa Valley is $65 and the Reserve is $115.
Okay, well a little bit. You basically have two for the price of one.
Right.
Well, still $65 for a Napa Valley Cabernet. That's
unheard of.
Jane. Yeah, it's incredible. And then, yeah. So what about the Lynch? Is the Lynch sort of in the 120 range?
I think it's 135.
Okay. Yep. So there's a spread. There's an option for everybody. Yeah. And
very limited availability with the Lynch. So.
Of course. But I'll probably think well.
The Reserve, it's kind of the Lynch. I think we do 150 cases. The Reserve, or the Lynch, we do 150. The Reserve, we might do 300. In the Napa Valley, we would do maybe up to 750.
Okay. Yeah.
Depending upon the vintage. So.
Wow. Talk about what we.
There you have it.
I can't remember. I got so distracted by the soils.
I was talking about more jammy fruit, more cooked fruit than the fresh fruit that I was getting in the Napa Valley.
Yeah.
But, you were saying that in the Napa you were getting more of an aged character.
Well, on the nose. I don't know about taste.
Right.
On the nose. Like I would have guessed older. But yeah, no, I mean, they're both great. I think they're both wonderful expressions of Calistoga, and it's fun that they're just a little bit different, you know, because I mean, we've talked about this before. The sites are not the same sites, right?
Right.
Well,
yes.
I mean, so the Reserve, is it all Lynch or it's some Lynch and some?
No. The Reserve is St. Helena and some Calistoga.
Okay.
And the Napa Valley is. Depending upon the vintage, it could be as far south as Oakville, but mostly St. Helena and Calistoga.
Okay.
So, yeah.
We've got a fan, George Schrammett Mortgage of the Maximus. George, thank you for joining. You missed the tasting. We did this beautiful Maximus white wine, which obviously you are a fan of, judging from your feed or your comments. By the way, if anybody has questions, you can put them in the comments section. Yeah, George, do you have the Maximus open right now? Are you tasting with us? Or are you just wishing you had it in front of you? So good, yes. Okay, I'm back, Rob. Well, what else would you like to share about these beautiful Cabernets? Oh, hello, Emily from San Francisco, and it's not me, but it's another Emily.
You know, I've worked at some great wineries in my career. I started at Groth. I was the winemaker Robert Keenan at Markham, at Sterling, and consulted for some really wonderful places. But coming here to Bennett Lane, I mean, coming from Sterling to Bennett Lane, at Sterling we were making 500,000 cases. And coming to Bennett Lane, which is approximately 10,000 cases, a lot of people would say, well, geez, what a step down. And for me, it was just the opposite, because I've been able to focus on reserve caliber wines here
Right.
and be hands-on, and from the vineyard all the way through bottling. And that's really a winemaker's dream.
Well, I was going to
That's, go ahead.
Wine collectors or wine snobs that like $155 Cabernet would not say that's a step down. That they would say, it's great you got that training in that wonderful place, and now you get to be in like a way more boutique-y, specialized high-end winery. I think
Yes, very much so. And the great thing about both Markham and Sterling was they had incredible marketing and sales. And so to work with Paterno Imports at Markham and to work with the gang at Seagram Fine Wines, and to be able to travel like I did, and I was able to go to Bordeaux 3 times with Seagrams, was fantastic. And to taste at the first growths and to go barrel tasting at Echem wasn't so shabby, and it's quite a learning experience. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's great to be here. We've got a fantastic team. Stephanie has really put together a great team, and it's you know what it's all about here. I mean, there's just amazing energy.
Yeah, I think at this point I've known you guys. What are we almost? We're almost hitting our 1.5-year anniversary. I met you last year, and Stephanie and I worked together on an event for the Calistoga wine growers in San Francisco, which was super fun. I actually saw another winery was on here watching, or maybe they still are. So Calistoga is one of these places. First of all my friends that don't live in San Francisco were like, I want to come to wine country. Let's go to Napa. And I'm like, okay, yeah, let's go to Napa. Let's go to Sonoma. Let's go to Paso. I mean, there's so many places.
Sure.
And I think when people think of Napa, half of them might not even like go as far north as Calistoga. And it's literally like this gem that once you get there, you're like, oh my God, so peaceful. And I'm a Solage girl. I love to sit at the Solage pool and then wine taste. And it's just like, you don't need to leave. You could come for 3 or 4 days and eat like a king and drink wine and just discover all these amazing family-owned gems, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's a very, very laid back, low key attitude up here. And it's very different from St. Helena South.
Yeah.
And it's really too bad, because we get somewhat of a bad rep. I own a business over in Sonoma County, and I'll tell you, people look down their noses at Napa Valley, and that's too bad. So, anyways.
Than other. That would.
Pardon?
Are you talking about the snobby factor that some people?
Yes. Yeah.
Actually, love this. Larry Coyne is joining from Michigan. Hello, Larry. I'm a fellow Midwesterner from Chicago, and he says it was one of his favorite visits ever. So, Larry, question: when are you guys? Well, obviously you can't come to California yet, but I wonder when people in the Midwest are going to like make their way west and come see us, once we get out of shelter in place, hopefully soon. Right, Rob?
Absolutely. It's like, I would hope that people will start traveling midsummer, if not sooner. My stepdaughter is a student at Marquette, so we're talking about Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And she's going back in 2 weeks to go to her apartment. So I think people are going to have to start traveling again. It's a little scary, but it's Marquette's going to have the fall quarter. They're going to end at Thanksgiving, and they're going to open up again in February.
I did hear that on NPR that they're moving it up to get ahead of like if things happen in December, like another round. So I'm actually probably going to be in Wisconsin in July as well. My family's from the Midwest, and my sister and her husband vacation in Door County, which is the cutest place.
Right.
And yeah, I'm hitting that wall. So if I'm allowed to fly and I feel comfortable, safe, I will be drinking your rosé in Wisconsin late July.
Good to hear.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, this has been great. We are probably going to get cut off in about a few minutes. So I just want to make sure if there's anything else we want to cover. Does Stephanie want to pop in and say hello? Or should we stay in here? It's so gorgeous. Oh, good. George says he's waiting for the green light, and then he will be heading up to Bennett Lane. So, George, check out the blog. I have a whole list of the best wineries in Calistoga. Obviously, Bennett Lane, but I don't know if you can spend 2 hours just Bennett Lane. So check out Jet Setting Fashionista, and it's a really good guide of some more wineries that are as fabulous as Bennett Lane to, tag along on your visit with Bennett Lane.
Okay, now I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Have you seen the previews for Catherine the Great?
No. Why?
On Hulu.
No.
It's hysterical.
Do I look like?
No.
Oh, I thought you were going to say.
It's a new show. It's a new show. It's about Catherine the Great, and it is hysterical. So keep your eyes peeled, and I want to know what wine you're going to pair with it.
Because we like to debate TV.
Yes.
So I'm actually going to have a little quiz for our audience. You guys, I am an avid Schitt's Creek watcher, and Rob and I disagree about this. Can you please put a comment in the feed if you love Schitt's Creek and can't live without it, or if you're lame and don't like it like Rob? Literally, like, I watched the season finale, like, after party, and all the cast talked. I mean, it's 6 seasons. It sort of feels like Seinfeld. It's like an iconic thing leaving.
I think it's the fact that I couldn't make it through the second episode. Maybe I should just jump to the second season, and it would be funny.
Watch 4 episodes, and then, oh, God, I love this, George. He's on my side. He loves it, too. Watch 4 episodes, and we can have, like, a bet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
That's like that, was it Californication? There's other shows that everyone loved, and I was like, I couldn't get into it.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll give it a shot.
So
Did you ever watch The Young Pope?
I did. Not the one with, what's his name, the cute blonde?
No, with Jude Law.
Well, he used to be a cute blonde. Yeah, that's what I'm
saying. Oh, did you like it?
I sort of watched it, but then I was like, this is like, it's not one of those shows you're dying to watch. You're just like, it's interesting.
Huh, okay.
Did you like it?
Oh, yeah. We watched both seasons.
So I think you and I have different TV tastes.
Oh, well. How about Justified?
I haven't seen that one.
All right.
Yeah. Before everybody gets bored of our TV conversation, I do want to remind them, you guys, we are doing a Zoom on Tuesday, June 9th. It is going to be at 5 p.m. Pacific. We will both be promoting it. You will have to register ahead of time. You can there's like on Emily Martin events, there's a link that says virtual wine tastings, and that's where you register. It's absolutely free. We just wanted to create like a little bit more of an intimate setting to do a tasting with Rob and Stephanie. And I think we're going to be tasting the same wines. I have to double check the roster, but I'm pretty sure. And yeah, so if you guys had fun today and you're curious, how delicious this White Maximus is, or the Rosé, or you want to do a side-by-side of the Reserve versus the Napa Valley Cabernet, that would be a good time to do it. Right, Rob?
You bet.
Yeah.
And by then I will have watched 2 episodes.
No, 4 episodes we agreed on.
2 more. 2 more.
You have to watch them back to back.
Okay.
Like, I think you just have to, like, get in the binge. They're 24 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, make a thing of
All right. Got it.
Wine and give me an hour and a half of your time, and then you'll say, oh, she told me so.
Okay.
Yes.
It's a deal.
Well, good.
All right.
Yeah. Anything else we should cover? I'm going to go back to this rosé. It's just so lovely and drinkable.
Good for you.
I can't.
I think we're good. It's so interesting. I wish I could turn my camera around because right now, what time is it? It's almost 5. And remember how I told you that the fog comes in over the hills at around 5 o'clock? So yes, I can. So hold on. So I'm going to do this. All right. Now.
We'd love to see the fog.
So you see the hills? Yeah. Where am I? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
See, right? See the fog coming in
Hi.
over the hills? Isn't that cool? So
Mm-hmm.
that's how
Yeah.
hot Calistoga, which gets up to about 100 degrees on certain days in the summer, in the late afternoon, the fog comes rolling in over the hills, and it drops down to about 55 degrees at night. And that's this
Yeah.
diurnal swing we talk about.
I was
So there you go.
explaining to people on another Instagram live how people go to wine country and pack like dresses and shorts and tank tops. And I'm like, yeah, for the day when it's 80 or 90, you want that. But at night, you want like white jeans and a cashmere sweater and a scarf.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and then
oh, look at the,
here's,
oh, hi, Stephanie.
here's the other diurnal
Here's
swing. So there we go.
Ready for us. So you guys just let us know when you want us and we'll be there.
Well, as soon as we get the okay from Napa County, we will invite you up to visit the garden. Unfortunately, you missed the big rose bloom, but they were on Stephanie's desk. So anyways, yeah, it's great up here right now. So I think we'll be open probably in a few weeks.
Okay.
That's what we're hoping.
That's what we're planning for.
Well, I am going to Wisconsin, but I was like, I'm not going anywhere. Napa is a hop, skip, and a jump. So I would love to hop on my car and come up, even if we just have a little lunch.
It's a plan.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Guys, so one more time, just to remind everybody, Zoom tasting is Tuesday, June 9th. Stephanie, we were wrong. It's not Friday. It's Tuesday.
Tuesday, June 9th, not Friday.
Pacific. Yeah.
Okay.
Before my birthday. So maybe we'll have a little early birthday celebration. And yeah, we will both be promoting it, and we'll give you guys the information to register. You just register on Emily Martin Events under virtual wine tastings. It's free. All you have to do is come, be curious, have good questions, and hopefully you want to drink some wine along with us. But it's not even obligatory. You can come along and not even drink.
There you go.
Okay.
We'll see you then.
Wait, let me take a picture. Do you guys mind standing? Oh, you can't stand together.
Well, Trav, come take a picture of the two of us near each other.
6 feet.
6
right?
feet.
6 feet.
Okay, stand
There
back.
you go.
Both your heads. Perfect. Okay, smile. Wave if you don't mind.
Okay, wave, Steph.
Oh, sorry, I can't hear. He's got the earbuds.
Okay, because this
Good.
will be the photo for the YouTube video. So you guys, if you missed any of this, in a couple days, this will be live on YouTube as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
It'll be live on YouTube in a couple of days.
Awesome.
Good.
Fashionistas YouTube.
All right.
Okay, well, thank you guys so much for sharing your Friday with me and your beautiful wines.
Anytime?
And yeah, I will see you guys Tuesday, June 9th at 5 p.m. Pacific.
Okay.
Okay.
5 p.m. Pacific, Tuesday, June 9th.
All right.
Okay.